Now, in our third and the final section, we will talk about another condition or procedure known as esophagoscopy, and this is the examination of esophagus, which is a long tube that carries the food from the throat or pharynx to the stomach. So, examination of esophagus is esophagoscopy. Three types we have, like bronchoscopy, we have rigid esophagoscopy, then we have flexible fiber optic esophagoscopy, and then another is transnasal. Through the nasal cavity, we use the esophagoscopy, so it's transnasal esophagoscopy. Rigid is the indications why we use the rigid esophagoscopy is we have diagnostic again and therapeutic. Diagnostic are for any cause of dysphagia, difficulty in swallowing or pain during swallowing. If patient complain, they diagnosis should be done by esophagoscopy. So dysphagia is difficulty in swallowing. To find cause for retrosternal burning. So any cause for the retrosternal burning, if it's present, that needs to be diagnosed by esophagoscopy. To find cause for hematemesis, secondaries neck with unknown primary. So if there is secondary present in the neck or the malignancy present in the neck, which can be the spread of cancer from some other side with primaries in some other area, that needs to be diagnosed. Therapeutic indications, removal of foreign body if present. Dilatation in case of esophageal stricture or cardiac achalasia. Endoscopic removal of benign lesions. Insertion of sutures or Mosse-Barbin tube in palliative treatment of esophageal carcinoma. So all these are the therapeutic and diagnostic indications of esophagoscopy. Injection of esophageal varices, if present, that can be managed also. Contraindications of rigid esophagoscopy, trismus if present. Disease of cervical spine, I already mentioned, whenever there is need for extension of the neck and there is a disease of cervical spine present, that's a contraindication because we can further aggravate the condition. Receding mandible. Aneurysm of aorta for fear of rupture and fatal hemorrhage. Advanced heart, liver, or kidney disease. Anesthesia and position. Anesthesia is general anesthesia with orotracheal intubation with tube in the left corner of the mouth. Local anesthesia in selected individuals. So mainly the general anesthesia is given with orotracheal intubation from between mouth and the trachea and in the left corner of the mouth, and sometimes we can even use the local anesthesia. Position is same as for direct laryngoscopy. Patient lies supine, head 10 to 15 centimeter elevated, neck flexed on the chest and head extended. So all these procedures, whether it's laryngoscopy, bronchoscopy, esophagoscopy, the position of the patient is the same. Mostly general anesthesia is used. Sometimes, if depend, we can use the local anesthesia. Technique is a piece of gauze again placed to protect the teeth from any injury. Oesophagoscope is lubricated with again liquid paraffin or jelly. Oesophagoscope is held by its proximal end in pen-like fashion. It's like a holding of the pen-like fashion from the proximal end. Introduced into the mouth by the right side of the tongue and then towards the middle of its dorsum. Technique: identification of arytenoids, oesophagoscope introduced to back of the tongue. Advance gently by left thumb and index finger. Epiglottis is first seen, then endotracheal tube. Little further down, arytenoids can be identified. Passing cricopharyngeal sphincter. So here you can see esophagus, it's a long tube. So here, long tube. Upper esophageal sphincter, pharynx, throat, this is the trachea. So passing cricopharyngeal sphincter, keeping tip of esophagoscope strictly in midline behind the larynx. So in midline behind the larynx. Lifted with movement of left thumb to open the hypopharynx. With slow but sustained pressure, sphincter will open, tip of esophagoscope guided into esophagus. Crossing the aortic arch and left bronchus. In an adult, this natural narrowing lies about 25 centimeters from the incisors teeth. Aortic pulsation. Head of the patient is slightly lowered, esophageal lumen in line with that of the scope. Passing the cardia, head and shoulders remain below the level of the table, head being slightly higher than the shoulders and move slightly to the right. Esophagoscope points to the left anterior superior iliac spine. Cardia is identified by its redder and more velvety or rugose mucosa. Post-operative care after esophagoscopy, sips of plain water followed by usual diet, given in an uneventful esophagoscopy. If the procedure went normally, there is no complication, usually sips of plain water followed by usual diet is given. Patient is watched for pain in the interscapular region between the two scapula, surgical emphysema of neck and abrupt rise of temperature. They indicate esophageal perforation. Emphysema means entry of the air. So with the rupture of esophagus, air entry, you can see the surgical emphysema with swelling in the neck and there is rise of the temperature. Complications that can occur, injury to the lips and teeth, injury to arytenoids, injury to pharyngeal mucosa, perforation of esophagus, here you can see the perforation, compression of trachea. Next, flexible fiber optic esophagoscopy. Here you can see is flexible fiber optic esophagoscope as compared to rigid esophagoscope. Outdoor procedure. Does not require general anesthesia. Used in patient with abnormalities of jaw or spine. So lot of very big advantages of flexible. It do not require general anesthesia and can be performed as an outpatient procedure. Esophagus, stomach, and duodenum examiner in one sitting. Good illumination and magnification. Use is for the diagnosis of mucosal disease, taking of biopsies, removal of foreign bodies or tumors, dilatation of webs or stricture, injection of varices with sclerosing agents, esophageal stent placed as a palliative measure. So all these are very, very important indications for flexible fiber optic esophagoscopy. Structures of esophagus are common that can lead to dysphagia. Those need to be corrected. Dilatation are done. Biopsies can be performed. Foreign bodies can be removed. So all these are the indications or uses. Local anesthesia with or without intravenous sedation. Patient lies in left lateral position. Fibroscope is passed through a plastic mouth probe into the pharynx, post-cricoid area, and esophagus. Insufflating air as the endoscope is advanced to open the lumen of esophagus. Transnasal, through the nasal cavity, esophagoscopy can be done. Working channel of 2 millimeter, air inflated through it to distend the walls of the esophagus. To look for any lesion in the mucosal fold, esophagus can be examined up to gastric fundus. Use is to look for pathology in case of dysphagia as a part of panendoscopy in workup of cancer patient. So for the work of the cancer patient is present, it can be performed as a part of panendoscopy. To remove foreign body from the esophagus, to perform tracheoesophageal puncture for esophageal speech, to take a laryngeal biopsy. So that concludes our topic of ENT diagnostic procedures, in which we cover in detail laryngoscopy, bronchoscopy, and esophagoscopy. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.